While we were away, Kegler's Corner has taken a 10-pin lead with a couple of strikes by Jim Strong in the 6th and then Smitty Payne Jr. in the 7th. Mike Lickstein of Team Columbia struck in the 6th. Patrick Allen a spare in the 7th. And now in the 8th, Gary Schultes, Team Columbia, down by 10. Big strike for Schultes. Puts the pressure right back on Bill Webb. Bowling in the 8th frame for Kegler's Corner. Very good, close, competitive match in this first one.
It is, Bob, and I think the difference in the match could end up being the left-handers. The fact that Team Columbia has 2 very talented left-handers on their team bowling in the 1 and 2 position could be the difference in the match, because there's going to be less movement of oil on the left side. So they could be the keys when they come into the last game.
High hit for Webb.
This, remember, is a 2-game total pin match. Baker system. Here's a look at the style. Watch the arm swing. He has a very free swing from the shoulder. But the tendency here is to stand up at the foul line, which right there creates you pull your hand out of the ball when you do that. Cuts off your follow through and you lose direction. When you lose direction, obviously you get a lot of problems.
Does one tend to do that when you're looking for more power, Earl, to come up?
That, or if you're nervous a little bit, you tend to get a little fast with your feet, makes you rare at the foul line. There's a lot of things can cause that. I just think that's his normal style, though. I don't think he's that nervous. I think it's his normal style is to come up at the foul line. And as you mentioned, Bob, maybe trying to get a little bit more on the bowling ball when he's actually pulling his hand out and getting less by doing that.
Jimmy Johnson Jr., 9th frame, Team Columbia, and they are down by 9.
And he's the only PBA member on the Team Columbia team here.
Crossover.
Well, now, if you're going to have a pin breaker break of the match, that could be a big one right there.
Now, he was whistling after his first ball early in the match, remember?
Yep, when he left the solid 8 last time. This time, he pulled the ball left. You can see that his expression, and look, this is no chance, and he gets the big break. The crossover hit, and that got his team off the bench in a hurry.
Gives him a 1-pin lead late in this first game. 9th frame, Bob Berlone.
Made a great adjustment on this lane. Last time up, left the solid 9. Let's see if he can repeat that shot and get the strike. Well, he tried, but he got it way wide of his target area, and when he released it, he knew it didn't have a chance. He leaves the 1-2-8-10. And again, here's a look at that shot again. Watch the ball gets out into that skid area. That's no man's land out there. Nobody gets it back from there except maybe Rudy Rebs. He's about the only guy on the planet can get it back from there. Rudy's an interesting guy. He's not only a very talented bowler, but he's a lot of fun to be around. And Rudy doesn't hook the ball.
Oh, and he got it.
Rudy tells you he curves the ball. He doesn't hook it.
Berlone with a big pick. There's Chet Galgansky, Earl, and you talk often about the importance of filling the frames in the Baker.
Well, there's 2 things there. Now, he had an all-spare game in the qualifying rounds, and I'll tell you what, nowadays it's awful hard with the bowling balls that are available to get an all-spare game. First of all, it's hard to make spares, and second, it's hard not to strike that often.
But our congratulations to him. 10th frame, Rudy Rebs leaves the 10. Galgansky, Earl, they're trying to arrange an exhibition at the Grand Championship in Reno, but the details couldn't be worked out. But an all-frame game. You want to admit those?
No,
you haven't had too many of those.
No, all-spare game? No.
Yeah.
No. I unfortunately, that's a disaster.
Big
there.
miss by Rudy Rebs.
All-spare games are really difficult to get, believe it or not, and especially, again, I wasn't making a joke when I said with today's bowling balls.
That is a huge miss by Rudy Rebs in the 10th frame for Team Columbia.
Rudy doesn't make a lot of money making spares. Rudy gets a lot of money throwing strikes, and Rudy Rebs won the high roller tournament in 1989 in Las Vegas. He won the Super Classic, the Hoinky, for $100,000. He's won a lot of money, and he's still an amateur bowler. That's the amazing part.
There's Willie Willis.
Now this is slow motion here.
Looked like it. That
Remember I Remember I mentioned Willie's getting old. He doesn't throw it near as hard as he used to. Well, the pins don't fall as fast as they used to for Willie either. Watch the 5-pin. Just get enough of the 7 to knock it down, and a little love tap on the 10.
You're living right.
And this makes that miss by Rudy Revs even bigger.
So Kegler's Corner, after winning the semifinal match over the Pepsi Classic team, now will have the lead after the first, as we see Rudy Revs, and it was his open in the 10th, that right now may be the key shot of the match.
Well, you don't keep Rudy down very long. His personality is such that he's very aggressive. He's going to get back up there, and he'll be challenging before it's over.
And Kegler's Corner will have the lead, but it's certainly not going to be insurmountable. We're after the first game in this championship match, and Kegler's Corner up by 8, 189-181. We'll be right back with the final game.